Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. The United States military, along with some of the United States allies, are interested in a new product that was derived from an analysis by an Italian company of the Las Vegas alien video of 2023. Of course, what we're talking about here is, now this was something I talked about before on this show. There was an Italian company headed by a person named Aldo Ritondale. I've talked about this before on here. Of course, I had some issues with Aldo last year, and I'll get into that later. But anyway, this company that he's put together, AdaptNet AI, they came up with some sort of a method to find creatures that are cloaking themselves. They've figured out how to do that. They actually came out with a report late last year in October of 2024, and they're going to be coming up with a second phase of that report that's supposed to be released the week of April 28th, and that was according to a post that Aldo had put on X earlier today. And so that's what I want to get into here today. This is, to me, right, there was a lot of different things that is brought up in this Twitter X post by Aldo Ritondale. But the thing that really stood out to me is the fact that there are militaries, including the United States military, that is interested in a product that this company that Aldo runs, this AdaptNet AI that he has. They came up with a process to decloak, to basically unmask the creatures that might be using cloaking technology, like in that video from 2023. Of course, the famous incident involving the Kenmore family, which I talk about all the time on this channel for I don't know how long now, all the time. I mentioned it just in the previous show. I think it's something that needs to be talked about a lot more, because it's the case that proves undoubtedly that we're not alone. Unfortunately, a whole year has gone by and since Scott Roeder, the crime scene reconstruction expert who operates the Evidence Room, a company in Ohio, I mean, him and his team, they determined a year ago that the video was authentic. It wasn't tampered with. There was no CGI involved in it, and there were actual entities in the video. Now, apparently, this AdaptNet AI has taken it to another level. They've already come out with a report last October, and they're preparing to release another report this month, by the end of this month, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's get into what Aldo has to say here today on Twitter X, and we'll go through it step by step here. It says, attention, Part 2 of the 2023 Las Vegas Non-Human Entities Report coming in 2 weeks. For those interested in a mathematical analysis of the 2023 Las Vegas Backyard NHI story by Dr. Aldo Ritondale, PhD, and Dr. Michael Annabelle Riccia, PhD, there will be an updated report, Phase 2, to be released the week of 28 April 2025. And here's a summary of it. It says, the summary is several NHI confirmed present in the backyard. This is a summary of his previous report of Phase 1 of the report that was released in October. It says here, several NHI were confirmed present in the family's backyard. The video was not altered, not a fake. There's new cloaking/decloaking mechanism was discovered. Real images of actual AI intermixed with much higher percentage of imaging that the human brain falsely interprets as an actual being, pareidolia. Yeah, like if you read, I'm gonna leave a link for all of this stuff. Now, I'm not going to get into Aldo's report here, but I think if you're interested in this case, this is something that you should check out. It was a very detailed report. It's a little bit complicated, but I'm sure you'll find, if you're interested in this phenomenon, then you're going to be interested in Aldo's report. And I'll leave a link for it so you can check out the Phase 1 of the report that was released last October. Of course, I did mention that before in a different episode, I'm sure. But anyway, then it goes on. It says here, Phase 2, week of April 28th, 2025, will contain additional pictures of NHI as well as links to videos that show detailed motions with analysis of NHI. There will also be photographic and video evidence of a craft that purportedly hard landed in the enclosed backyard of the impacted Las Vegas family. So now this will be interesting too. Let me just stop there again. They're going to have more information with regard to the craft apparently in the yard. So I'm really looking forward to see what Aldo's team came up with regard regard to this. I can't wait to see it. Actually, I did. Just the other day, I was in a couple, I think 2 podcasts ago, I mentioned there's another YouTuber, Oblivion Surveyor. I provided a link to his channel. He thinks that he sees a craft there in some of the stuff that he's looking at. Actually, Mr. Grey Owl, that's someone else who's been investigating this since it started. A Canadian gentleman, somebody actually who sent me this, Mr. Grey Owl. He sent me the Extraterrestrial Reality Anti-Mantis Exoskeleton Management Device. I believe that you're supposed to leave. This is intended to leave on your beds, on the little table next to your bed. And if an alien comes into your room, you just grab this, and this will manage the situation for you. And then after you knock out the creature, then if you want to get a sample, you just use this to pull it off, because there's going to be people out there who won't believe you later. So that's what this is for. So Mr. Grey Owl, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I look at it every day. I always think about it. It's a great little trinket added to my office here. But Mr. Grey Owl, there's all these different people that talk about, on his channel, he's talking about that he believes that he sees a craft there too. I've received different kinds of reports from different people. There's also someone else a person who wants to remain anonymous, who believes that he found images in the backyard of floating craft, of hovering craft late in that video, and he was able to find this by adjusting the contrast and screwing around with all the color controls, all that kind of stuff. I was unable to duplicate it, so I cannot verify it. But maybe Aldo and his team will be able to verify it using the technology that they have. I don't know. You have to remember, there was a person who was living in Arizona at the night that this happened. Just before midnight on April 30th, there was a person who reported to the American Meteor Society that night that they saw the object coming down, and then they saw two UFOs hovering around the area where the object went down in Las Vegas. This person was looking north from Arizona and saw this, and so. What this one person who said he found a craft floating, and to me, if you look at this thing, is this a craft that's hovering there? Maybe one of the UFOs that came to the rescue of the ones that crashed in that backyard, that made the hard landing in the backyard. Is this that? I don't know. I've been unable to verify it. If you look at it, it looks like if it is real, then it looks like it's made with intelligent design. And actually, if you look closely in it, in the middle there, it looks like there could be a figure sitting in there. Maybe that's one of the flying saucers or one of the UFOs that came to the rescue that night. But I don't know. But I just find it interesting that this AdaptNet AI is going to talk about a potential craft. So we'll get to see what they have to say about that when they release their next report. Anyway, getting back to this, it says we do not include photos and videos already covered by others, such as the stunning videos and images provided in analysis by J. Quirk and S. Roeder. These impressive, separate, and distinct analyses were some of the first to demonstrate without a doubt, in all caps, that non-human entities with advanced intelligence and technology, all caps, do indeed exist. Thank you for that comment. And for pointing that out, but I'm assuming he's talking about some of the images that we talk about ad nauseum on this show, including the creature whose face appears above the fence, some of the creatures that appear near the heavy equipment, and of course UB, the undeniable backbreaker. But anyway, I do have a comment also that I received from Scott Roeder earlier today. He was unable to come on the show today. He's in the middle of a whole bunch of different cases, and he's in the middle of a lot of traveling and all that kind of stuff with his job, so he's unavailable for that. But he did provide comment with relation to Aldo's post, and I'll get into that later. Also, it continues here. It says, Dr. Michael Annabelle Recchia set up the lab environment and designed and executed most of the experiments along with colleagues and graduate students. Dr. Recchia has a long and storied career with Bell Laboratories, MIT R&D Laboratories, AT&T Laboratories, and now our joint venture with AdaptNet Technology and AdaptNet AI. Dr. Recchia is a research computer scientist, electrical engineer, and physicist. I hope I'm not butchering the doctor's name here. I know I butchered Aldo's name when I first was saying that last year. Hopefully, I'm not butchering Dr. Richia's name and I'm pronouncing it correctly. But anyway, there's also a link here. You could click on it to Dr. Richia's LinkedIn page. So you could read about his background there. And then it continues here. It says, see just a small sample of Dr. Richia's voluminous and extensive works herein. And then there's some more links where you could find out about his background. Anyway, it continues. It says, it was during the lab experiments that Dr. Richia discovered the cloaking and decloaking techniques used by the NHI. The techniques are described with mathematical rigor in the Phase 1 report, with important updates and modifications to be covered in the Phase 2 analysis. Our company, AdaptNet Technologies, with subdivision AdaptNet AI, headquartered in Castellaveri, Frosinone, Italy, has produced products based on the cloaking analysis. So let's just stop there for a second. So they're creating products because of this incident. If it wasn't for this incident, then this company, I don't think, would be making these products. Continuing here, it says, there are currently evaluations of the product by militaries in multiple Western countries, allies of the United States and the United States itself. There is also substantial interest on the part of other government agencies and certain police operations. So there are people who are interested in the technology that was developed by this company based on the research that they did on relating to the Vegas alien video, where the aliens are in there. So they were able to, locate other creatures in there that you couldn't really see without using their system to see them. And I'll get into that report here in a second here a little bit. I just want to show you one segment from that report. But anyway, continuing, it says, in preparation for the Phase 2 report, read the Phase 1 report, even if read previously. We especially encourage the reader to become very familiar with the detailed mathematical analysis, which includes basic calculus and basic probability theory. And then there's a link for that. It says here, please note that the Phase 2 report contains a much larger and much more detailed mathematical analysis of the cloaking/decloaking mechanism and product. As the products and prerequisite patents have already been built and filed, no NDA, in caps, is required to review these mechanisms and associated products in as much detail as any interested party might require. Now, let me just stop there for a second. That's great, because that was the issue that I had with Aldo last year. When he contacted me last year, he wanted me to sign this NDA. He sent me this NDA. I looked at it. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to sign no NDA. I don't want to sign no non-disclosure agreement. You don't know what's going to happen when you go signing a no-disclosure agreement. A person who fancies himself as a reporter on UFOs, which I do, doesn't do stuff like that. And I was very upset about that. In fact, here, I'm just going to play a little clip real quick from a video that I made last October when I was very upset about the idea of this request to sign an NDA. Well, now I don't know if you understand here, but let me explain it to you. I have a show. It's I'm trying to cause disclosure to happen here. I don't know, and you're asking me to sign a non-disclosure agreement to look at a 20-page report of something that we've already proven? Why don't you just release the report if that's what you got, Aldo? Or is what's going on here? I mean, you're related to the government here. What's going on here? This sounds really fishy to me. There's a lot of different possibilities here, and none of them are good. None of them are good, right? What are you doing, right? I mean, okay, you tell me that you're related, you have contracts with people, with government, with defense contractors over here. You work with the Department of Defense and NASA and so on and so forth. And now you're asking me to sign an NDA before you'll discuss your 20-page report on the Las Vegas alien incident, which was already approved by Scott Roeder and myself. We've been talking about it since April 2nd with our proof. Why don't you just release it? What's the big deal here? And if there's something in there that's proprietary in your 20-page report, then black it out. Black it out. You said in your original message that you put on Twitter a couple of weeks ago that you agreed. You agreed with the analysis, and now you're asking to have me sign a non-disclosure agreement. What are you, nuts? Okay, that's what happened. And yeah, I didn't know at the time, whether Aldo was, I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know why he wanted me to sign an NDA, but apparently that's not necessary anymore because they have the patents in place and there's no concern about anyone going to steal their invention here. So that's good. And so maybe at some point in the future he'll come on the show despite the fact that I said those things last year. But he did tag me. He tagged Scott Roeder. So and he's still in communication with us about this, about his work on it. And he's the only other person, I think, the professional that's in addition to Scott Roeder and his team. It's this AdaptNet AI. They're the only other ones that I believe that I know of that are like a professional organization that's looking into this. Now, of course, there's a whole bunch of yo-hos out there like me and Gray Al and everyone else and Chris Lathrop. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people like us out there that are like independent researchers that are doing this. But those guys, they have professional businesses and with PhDs and all that kind of thing, and they're able to figure this out way better than just some novice like I am. Like that's I need Scott Roeder to tell me what the hell's going on, or if it's real or not. I can't just say that, right? You need professionals telling you. And let me tell you something. It's so great to be right about this one, folks. Oh boy, let me tell you. I've talked about this a couple of times before. When it comes to this phenomenon, and you have all these years, decades worth of debunkers and naysayers telling you that there's nothing to it, there's no evidence, and here we have the evidence. You see what's happening with this evidence. I mean, if you're a person out there that has studied this and you know that this does constitute absolute proof, you're at that point, you understand how ridiculous this is then, right? You understand how ridiculous it is that the rest of the UFO community isn't on board with this. It's absolutely absurd. We'll get into that too a little bit more later. Let's finish up with what Aldo wrote here. He says, Dr. Ritchie can be available for a discussion on the Phase 1 report and after April, the Phase 2 report for any persons or organizations with any level of interest. Both of us have already given presentations to interested parties in academia, the military, other national government and state government agencies, as well as to private enterprises. So they're out there talking about this. There's people in the military interested in this. There's other government agencies interested in the technology that was developed out of this incident. Does that to me tells me that these other parties must be acknowledging the reality of the Vegas case. That's what it tells me. Why would they even bother looking at the stuff developed by this company if they didn't believe that what really happened in Vegas? Anyway, it ends here. It says, we would love to hear what you think of the Phase 1 report with reader thoughts captured here. And there's a link to a page where they have their analysis. And you could check that whole analysis out on this page here. You could click on here and you could read the full analysis. And I just have a page up here. This is one of the samples that they had in the analysis. You could see here there's a picture. It was fuzzy. You really couldn't tell. It might have been something there, but then using their program, they were able to clarify what's here, and it does look like there's a creature here. You could see its head. This is the what was actually there. You can see there's the shape of its head here apparently. And this is just one frame from the video. They're all over the yard apparently. So there's all kinds of goodies in that first phase of the report, so check it out when you have a chance. You'll find it very interesting. And I thought this was also interesting on the page here. This is Dr. Ritchie is right here. This is him, and he provided a comment on this page himself. There was a space for comments, and he has a comment here himself. And I thought this was interesting. He actually posted this past January. It says, "This is the most comprehensive coverage of the Las Vegas event from any one person or any one institution. We believe, unfortunately, that there is a fair amount of jealousy in the UFO/UAP world, as those with a, quote, name, end quote, in this business don't want new entrants into the business to garner a footing, even if the, quote, newbie, end quote, has by far more and better data and analysis than anyone." I have to, that's one of the sentiments that a lot of people have right now when it comes to this case. A lot of people say the same thing to me on this channel. They'll leave a note saying that they think that some of these other people in the UFO community are jealous. And, that could be the case. That could be what the situation is in some cases, and maybe other cases they just, I don't know. Who knows? It's anyone's guess. I mean, to me, right? This is like, when you think about it, okay, it's like, this is different than like something happening and you don't have the evidence to show people, like if you look at the movie The Blob, right, the old one with Steve McQueen, 1958, right, he's the whole movie, he's running around trying to warn everyone that there's this monster loose that's absorbing everyone, right, and nobody believes him. The police chief doesn't believe him, the deputy don't believe him. I mean, nobody believes him, right? Until it's, until they do believe him, until they all see the blob at the end, right? And so, or like in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, for half the movie, Costello's running around, he's getting chased around by Dracula and the Frankenstein monster. He keeps telling everyone that they're alive and they're moving around and they're trying to kill me, right? Nobody believes him until they finally see them at the end, and then they believe them. Here, right, the Vegas alien case, you show the evidence, you showed them everyone the proof, right, and they still don't believe it. Take, for instance, Dr. Stephen Greer. Just recently, Scott Roeder had sent something out to Dr. Greer, asking him if he would take a look at this case. Maybe he has interest in it. Maybe he should become involved, right? Start talking about it. Because, I mean, really, no one else has presented any sort of evidence that is this, as far as I'm concerned, as far as anyone should be concerned, is that is this, solid. There's nothing else. It's concrete. Right, and you could take this to a court of law. You could convince a jury in favor of the alien presence on this planet with this all of this evidence, right? But apparently Greer's not interested. I'm going to pull up what he said here on the screen. Now, Scott was in contact with one of Greer's associates, someone named Raven, and this was the response that he got. It says, "Dear Scott, thank you for sending all the information. You have done a very thorough analysis. While there is no doubt there was an incident with the object dropping from the sky, which was reported by the American Meteor Society and noted across several states, what is seen on the ground could have a number of explanations. There were a couple of videos circulating out there showing that some TikTok creators had used CGI in the video." Let me stop there for a second. That's complete absolute nonsense. That those TikTok creators who use CGI, everyone knows which ones of those videos were fake and which ones weren't. I mean, we were working with the absolute original video that was released by the family early on, and it took time and work to identify the creatures that were in there and verify the video. It took time to do that, so I don't know what that has anything to do with anything. But anyway, let's continue. It says, Angel Kenmore went on record a year later stating that he saw a cross float across the room and Bible pages flipping by themselves. Now he thinks he saw a demon rather than an alien that was growling at him. Now let me just stop again here. Okay, now someone who's studied UFOs for their whole lives, like Dr. Stephen Greer, has to know how all the cases out there where poltergeist activity occurs to some people who have encounters with these creatures or their crafts, right? So so what? What does that have to do with anything? That doesn't change what happened in the backyard, right? On the late hours of April 30th and the early morning hours of May 1st, 2023. That doesn't change anything. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. But anyway, let's continue. It continues. It says, to be honest, yes, there was some movement in the video, but it is very hard to tell with blurred images and shadows exactly what it is. It is not conclusive that what is seen are actual real extraterrestrials. At this point in time, Dr. Greer will not be involved with this, but we do appreciate your reaching out and sharing your analysis with us. Kind regards, Raven. Well, again, I don't think they're giving it the just due. Dr. Stephen Greer is dropping the ball on this. Dr. Stephen Greer is dropping the ball on this, and I wonder why. I don't know why. Is it because of like this Dr. or Michael Recchi is saying? Is because of that? Is the reason we believe, unfortunately, that there is a fair amount of jealousy in the UAP world, as those with a name in this business don't want new entrants into the business to garner a footing, even if the newbie has by far more and better data and analysis than anyone? Is it because of that? I don't know. Why would you, or do you want to just continue the mystery? Is continuing with, like, when people aren't sure whether it's real or not? Is that is that the reasoning behind it? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I just don't get it. right? I mean, we should be over the hump right now, but for some reason, the UFO communities, including some of the biggest names in the UFO community, won't acknowledge this. And here we have experts, video experts, two different places now, two different companies saying the same thing, that this video constitutes proof. So I don't get it, and I guess what are you gonna do? I mean, here's what all I gotta say. I think what people need to do is they need to, check out, if you have the time, when you have the time, if you have the interest, check out Aldo Ritondale's report here that he has posted. You could check that out. It's going to be very interesting to see the phase 2 of that report. I can't wait to see that. And I just like to know, why some of these people are poo-pooing this and pretending it's not real when you have experts telling you otherwise. I mean, this is these guys are. I mean, Scott Roeder could go to court right now and he could testify in court on this case, and like I said, a jury would conclude that this video evidence and the totality of all the evidence, not just the video, but everything together, would prove that there's creatures here, that we're not alone. There's a non-human intelligence present on this earth. But anyway, getting back to Scott Roeder, he provided a comment here today. And let me just pull it up on the screen here. Okay, here's Scott's comment. He says, "I'm truly honored to be acknowledged by such a groundbreaking scientist, someone whose technology unveils cloaked phenomena once thought impossible to detect. I extend my deepest thanks for recognizing the early work Jim Quirk and I pursued. This recognition brings a profound sense of validation, especially coming from someone pushing the boundaries of discovery. It means a great deal, particularly in light of the now undeniably real event that occurred during the Las Vegas backyard encounter on May 1st, 2023. Scott Roeder." Thank you, Scott, for taking the time to put a comment together for me with this. I appreciate it very much. And I do want to say, hey, Aldo, I was upset about the request to sign an NDA last year, but hey, I'm totally, I like I said, also stated, hey, I hope that you make some shake the world with this. I hope you're able to do more than what we were able to do to this point. I'm glad that there's not just Scott Roeder and myself and a few others. I'm glad there's another professional company involved in this case, and that is obviously you got the military interest that you're saying. So I find that interesting. I find that amazing, actually. So if the United States military, which, by the way, I had sent them a letter explaining this whole case last June. I never got a response, but they are meeting with Aldo's company, apparently, right, according to him, and they believe it. They obviously must, because why would they be interested in the technology that this company developed using this video from Vegas? Obviously that means they must believe it. They know that there was something there. And wouldn't this technology work for the military? I mean, this way you'd be able to see the aliens when they're cloaking themselves. You might be able to see them live and in videos later on. You might be able to decloak them later on, just like apparently was done here in this case with the Las Vegas video. They're able to remove the mask using this technology, and now you can see the creatures better, and they're going to have an update on this, and I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see what they've done with the craft. I'd like to see more stuff with that. That's going to be interesting as well. But anyway, I think this is a very exciting update, and I'm so happy that we're still talking about it. Again, it's so great. It was so great to be right about this, and it's so nice to see smart people on the side of reality here. I mean, and it's so nice that not everyone's turning their back on this, and that there are some scientists out there that are interested in getting to the bottom of this. And look at what the great part about it is here, that he's confirming this. AdaptNet AI is basically confirming. They're saying here some of the stuff that was already presented. They're saying there's without a doubt that the non-human entities with advanced intelligence and technology, they do indeed exist. They're basically confirming Scott Roeder's analysis. So there we go. It's proven. So where's the rest of the UFO community? Instead of showing pictures of lights in a black sky with no context, why don't you talk about this? If you're sick and tired of debunkers and naysayers and government officials telling you that they don't know anything, well, just shove this in their face and see what they say then. You don't know anything about this? You don't know about this? That creatures are actually in craft or crashing in people's backyard in Vegas? You didn't know anything about it? Put them on the spot. They know about it. They know about it. And I think a lot of people, some of these, the people that we trust over the years in the UFO community, a lot of them know about it too, but for some reason they don't want to acknowledge it. Maybe they want to keep things the way they are, a big mystery. So not everyone knows. They're afraid of how the world might react. Who knows what the reasoning is behind it all? You can only guess. It's all speculation. I don't know what people are thinking inside their heads. But obviously, some of them do not want to acknowledge it, like Dr. Stephen Greer and his team. What does he profit? Okay, he has these CE5 things, right? Okay, he has some picture. He released some pictures of aliens, still images of alleged aliens that. With not much context. Here we have absolute proof. There were so many different elements to this story. You have the 911 call, you have the police report, you have the American Meteor Society report, you have the videos of the craft coming down, you have the video of the scared people running out of the yard with guns in their hands and creatures running around. We have them. We have AdaptNet AI now developing some sort of a product that could unmask the creatures in these videos. It's unbelievable the stuff that's happening, but yet most people in the UFO community aren't acknowledging it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't know to what end. I don't know why this is like this, but the whole world should know right now that it's a fact. It's a fact. We're not alone. All these debunkers, all these people for all these years who have been telling people that there's nothing to this phenomenon, they were wrong. They were all wrong because now we have the absolute proof. And a lot of people can't see it, don't want to see it, don't even want to know about it. That's where we are at, folks, right now. That's where we are. But militaries, they're interested in it. The military is interested in it. You better believe it. You better believe it. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining me today. Until next time.